Maya convinced me to download this budgeting app 2 months ago. She was sitting on my couch in her pajamas at like 11 on a Sunday morning, which was already suspicious because Maya does not wake up before noon on weekends. And she's like, "Sophia, you need this app. It changed my life. It tracks everything. It's going to fix you." And I'm like, okay, first of all, rude. Second of all, you are literally drinking my wine right now, so I don't know what financial advice you think you're qualified to give. But whatever. I downloaded it. Put in my bank info, connected my credit cards, let it do its little AI thing where it categorizes all your spending. And 3 days later, this app sent me a notification that said, "You spent $470 on miscellaneous last month." Miscellaneous, which is not a category. That is the app giving up on me. That is the app saying, "I don't know what you did with this money. You figure it out." So that was fun. Anyway, I'm Sophia. I think about money way too much for someone who still has $13,000 on an Amex. And after that little disaster, I decided to actually test a bunch of these budgeting apps because everyone swears by a different one, and I wanted to know which ones are actually useful and which ones are just pretty interfaces that make you feel like you're doing something when you're not. Spoiler, most of them are the second thing. And look, I'm not a financial advisor or anything, just someone who has tried way too many of these apps and has opinions now. So obviously your situation is different than mine, but I'm going to tell you what I found. First up, Mint, which everybody recommends. Mint is like the budgeting app your mom's friend told her about. It's free. It connects to your bank. It shows you charts and graphs and little pie slices of where your money went. Sounds great, right? Except Mint is also extremely judgy. It will categorize a $7 bodega coffee as dining out and then send you a passive-aggressive notification like, "You are over budget in dining this month." And I'm like, okay, Mint, I bought a coffee at 9 in the morning so I could function at work. I did not go to brunch at Balthazar. Relax. Also, Mint sells your data, which they tell you in the terms of service that nobody reads, but yeah, they are absolutely selling your spending habits to advertisers. So you're getting budgeting advice and targeted ads for things you already spend too much money on. Cool. Not helpful. YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget, and honestly, the name is already condescending. I do need a budget. I know that. You don't have to put it in the title. YNAB is the app that finance people on Reddit worship like it's a religion. And it works on this whole zero-based budgeting thing, where you give every dollar a job before you spend it, which in theory sounds amazing. In practice, it is so much work. You have to manually enter every transaction. You have to reconcile everything. You have to sit there and plan out your entire month in advance. And maybe that works for someone who has a completely predictable life, but I do not know on the first of the month how many times I'm going to order Seamless, or how much I'm going to spend at Target, or whether Maya is going to drag me to a rooftop bar in Williamsburg that charges $18 for a vodka soda. Also, YNAB costs $99 a year, so you are paying $100 for an app to tell you that you don't have enough money. The irony. Rocket Money, which used to be called Truebill before they rebranded. This one is actually kind of useful, but in a very specific way. It finds subscriptions you forgot about and cancels them for you. Which, honestly, I needed, because I had a Hulu account I haven't used since 2023, and a meditation app I downloaded during a mental health phase that I used exactly twice. Rocket Money found like 6 subscriptions I didn't know I still had, and saved me maybe $40 a month. So that part is good. The budgeting features, though, meh. It's fine. It does the same thing Mint does, shows you categories and spending trends, but it doesn't really help you change anything. It just shows you the damage, and then you're supposed to figure out what to do about it yourself. PocketGuard. This one I actually liked for about 2 weeks, and then it started annoying me. PocketGuard shows you how much money you have left to spend after bills and savings, which they call your in your pocket number. And that number is supposed to keep you from overspending because you can see in real time how much you actually have available. Which works if you are someone who looks at that number and goes, "Oh, I should not buy this." I am not that person. I will see that I have $73 in my pocket, and I will still go to Trader Joe's and spend $90 because I convinced myself I needed the fancy olive oil and the $26 charcuterie situation. So PocketGuard just became this thing that made me feel bad every time I opened it. Not helpful. Goodbudget, which is based on the envelope method. You know, the thing where you put cash in envelopes for different categories, and when the envelope is empty, you stop spending. Except it's digital, so there's no actual envelopes. It's just virtual envelopes on your phone. And I don't know about you, but a virtual envelope does not stop me from spending the way a real empty envelope would. It's too easy to just move money from one envelope to another and be like, well, I'll just borrow from groceries to cover going out this week. It's the honor system, and I do not have that kind of self-control. Also, the free version only lets you have 10 envelopes, which is not enough if you actually want to break down your spending in any useful way. Pass. Simplifi by Quicken. This one is clean, I'll give it that. The interface is really nice, it's easy to use, it connects to your accounts fast. But it also costs $6 a month, and it doesn't really do anything that the free apps don't do. It shows you your spending, it shows you your bills, it gives you a little spending plan. But there's no actual behavior change happening. It's just reporting. And if I wanted to pay $72 a year to feel bad about my spending, I could just keep my therapist. Okay, so here are the two that actually helped. Copilot, which is only on iPhone, so if you have an Android, sorry. And Lunch Money, which is a weird name, but whatever. Copilot costs $9 a month, but it is worth it because it actually makes budgeting feel less like punishment. It learns your spending patterns, it auto-categorizes things correctly most of the time, and it gives you these little monthly recaps that show you where you improved and where you slipped. And it's not judgy about it. It's just like, hey, you spent less on Ubers this month. That's great. And also, you spent more on shopping. Maybe think about that. It feels like a friend checking in, not an app yelling at you. And the interface is so pretty that I actually want to open it, which is half the battle with these things. Lunch Money is for people who want more control. It's also $9 a month, and it's way more hands-on than Copilot. You have to do more manual work, but it gives you way more customization. You can set up rules, you can split transactions, you can track things by tags instead of just categories. It's basically for people who want YNAB level detail, but without the cult vibes. And honestly, if you are someone who actually likes spreadsheeting your life, Lunch Money is going to make you so happy. The thing nobody tells you about budgeting apps is that most of them are just mirrors. They show you what you already did wrong, and then they leave you there. The ones that actually help are the ones that give you a path forward, that make you feel like you can fix it instead of just cataloging the damage. So if you're going to pay for one, pay for something that doesn't make you want to delete it every time you open it. That's the whole game.